With our song there, was it the same for you as it was for me? It's like jumping all over the place. I'm like, what the hell is going on with our song? Okay, I hate this new restream. Welcome, guys. Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be across this beautiful blue-green globe of ours. Welcome to Real News Live. This is A Tell the Truth Wednesday. I'm your host, Mike Barra, in Las Vegas, Nevada, joined as I always am by the lovely lady with the lustrous hair from Hayden, Idaho, Jennifer Falah Doreen. Jen, how is your Wednesday going so far?
Good. Good.
Good. That's excellent. We're going to give guys a few minutes to get in here. Under the new system, it used to be the interface, I would set the stream up and then it would let people know way beforehand that we were coming on. And now it doesn't let anybody know until we actually are streaming. And our numbers are shooting up over on Rumble. Let's take a look. Yeah, okay, we're good. We're shooting up on Rumble. We're getting things going. So I'm going to take a little bit. I'm going to take a moment to say that tomorrow is my little kitty cat, Miss Fluffy Muffy's birthday, August 29th. 2011. I got her to be friends with my other kitty, Aurora, who asked in a reading with a pet psychic medium, Denise, that she wanted a little friend. She asked me for a little friend, and the rules were she can't be as pretty as I am, and she has to have a stupid name like Fluffy or something. So then I said, well, we used to call Cleo, who was a kitty cat that I had with my ex-wife, who passed in 2003. We used to call her Muffy. And she goes, yes. Denise said, yes, Miss Fluffy Muffy. So that's how she got her name, Miss Fluffy Muffy. She has a silly name, and everybody knows how beautiful Aurora was. But Miss Fluffy Muffy is my remaining kitty. I still have her. Tomorrow's her birthday. And Jen, we talked off air. What are we going to be getting her tomorrow for her birthday? She gets chicken and fish all day long, right? People. Yep. That's what she wanted. She wants food. So, all right, guys, great to have you here with us. Not much to talk about in terms of financial resets. The politics stuff, of course, is very interesting and exciting right now. On the financial side of it, it's very quiet. I've heard nothing from my bond side people. They expected to be paid by now. They haven't been paid as far as I know. No, Mark Z had no information. We've kind of passed through another deadline where it looked like we might get our redemption appointments. It still hasn't happened. So, Jen, I know you didn't do a show yesterday, right? You did not do a philosophy show yesterday.
No, I had too much work to do.
Too much work. And so today I think Jen's got a little spiritual update for us. And then we're just going to, I think, just take questions for the rest of the show. Does that sound like a plan, Jen?
Yeah.
Okay. So you want your Gentel banner or?
Sure.
Okay, let's give you your Gentel banner, and because we like that because it moves fast, and then you can kick it.
Okay, this is just a little Gentel short. When I was doing healings this morning, and I talked to God afterwards, and I asked him where we are in the RV. Now, he handed me a large gold coin about the size of the palm of my hand. And he showed me, I said, what do you mean? And he showed me a gray-haired woman signing a document. He said 4 a.m. He said it's complete. Contracts in transit, hard copies. A day away, he said, and I asked about notifications. He kind of, it depends, but probably next week. So we've got movement.
Okay, let's do a little crosstalk. That's really interesting. The gray-haired woman is Janet Yellen. Short hair?
Yeah, I look like her with the bowl cut kind of deal.
Janet
Yeah.
Yellen. The bowl cut. That's Janet Yellen of the Federal Reserve signing off. You said 4 a.m.
Now, I
right?
don't know if that was 4 a.m. today or if that's he said a day away.
Well, I think it was 4 a.m. today, and I'm going to tell you why I think that. Because I woke up about 4:14 a.m., right? Right after 4 a.m. I was dreaming. You know what I was dreaming about? This is kind of interesting. I was dreaming about that I was the new owner of the Seattle Seahawks, and I was addressing all of the employees there and telling them how things were not going to change. Everybody was going to have a job through the end of the season. You know, we're going to reevaluate. Basically, it was just showing I was there, and I was apparently so rich that I bought the Seahawks for $5 or $6 billion. Now, I don't know if that's really true, but I just think it's fascinating that at the same time these documents were being signed to give us a whole lot of money. I was dreaming about one of my dreams, you know, would be to make movies and own the Seahawks. Would be a great life to have after this, and get them back to the Super Bowl. So I tend to believe that it was today and that it's a genuine thing. Because I mean, it's like, you know, I don't dream about the RV very often or what happens afterwards, and I did today right at the same time those documents were being signed. So I take that as a positive sign.
I did too, since it was God that told me that. So I tried my hardest, but
I didn't. Was it God or Jesus? It was
God. When I go into the healing room, you know, I ask them, God, Jesus, Blessed Mother, to stand there with me, and I see them there. You know, God could do anything; He could show Himself to me, and so I talk to Him face to face, and that's what I got.
Interesting.
You know, being conflicted about the whole thing and just, you know, having your own personal exhaustion going on with the whole thing. You know, it's kind of hard to get the information now. And so they'll do things like that, like hand you something to get you thinking or to tell you something without telling you something. And so big gold coin, lots of gold.
Yeah. Yeah. So lots of gold. Batman says, I think it was 4 a.m. this morning. Okay. Batman must have a reason for saying that. Okay, guys.
Has a reason for saying things.
He generally does. Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Thank you for being here. We're going to jump and just do questions. I have Zach Zester-Zerfoss coming on at the top of the hour. Jen's going to be leaving us to go do readings. She's got her flock she must tend to that Jesus has pushed her way. So, by the way, how's my mic today? Is it hot? Is it cooler than it was? Is it better, Jen?
It's good.
Is my mic about the same? Okay. So we're going to do questions for the day. I just would like to remind everybody that if you're going to ask a question of Jen, whether it's on Rumble or whether it's over here on YouTube, that you include your real name and the name of the person or pet that you are asking about. That makes it easier for Jen to connect. Meantime, don't forget that these videos, well, I was going to say these videos get taken down. And I'm not taking them down anymore. I'm kind of, I don't know, Jen, I'm kind of daring them to take my channels down on YouTube.
Yeah, why not? We got Rumble.
But you can always slide over to MikeBarra.blogspot.com. You can always pick up all of the shows. They are linked directly to the Rumble channel. You got last night's Toxically Masculine Tuesday with me and Blake and Brooks and Steve. You got articles that I've written, videos that I've done about UFO cases, interviews with UFO experiencers like Marina. Lots of cool stuff. It's all there on MikeBarra.blogspot.com, so you can always find it there. Please also do not forget to visit our wonderful sponsors, the CBD Gurus, over at thecbdgurus.com, where you can get all kinds of awesome products for your health, CBD products. Slide to the wholesale tab, slide down to Mike B Wholesale. It'll take you into the special discount area. You type in the discount code ALIEN, all lowercase, no S on the end of it, just alien. And you'll get not only the wholesale prices, but Jen just posted a photo. Did you just post a photo, Jen?
I just posted Gentel, so I don't forget once I get off from the readings and I've been on all day.
Right. And you can get not only the discount prices, but he's also throwing in Boulevard, 50 million Boulevard total, every order over $150, things like that. Matt and Lucas over at the CBD Gurus. You got the Delta 8 gummies. You've got the Make America Great Again lounge pants for the ladies. Lots of super cool stuff. Over there at the CBD Gurus. Also, please, don't forget, if you have pets and you want to get them healthy, slide over to MikeBarraPets.com, where Diana, who is a wonderful person and a certified pet nutritionist, you can contact her at MikeBarraPets@gmail.com. And she will get you on a mushroom-based program for your kitties, for your doggies, for your horsies, and even for yourself. Click on the Shop Now button, and it takes you into all the products. I've got Barkling on the Mojos and the Mush Puppies. He's doing great. So much energy. His back legs are really good. There's Super Sauce for the dogs and the cats. There's Mush Ponies for the horses. And then there's this the Enforce Plus and Enforce Restore and Clarity, all for the human beings. They boost your immune system. They give you mental clarity. And the Enforce Restore is for your organs, like your pancreas, your high blood pressure, that kind of thing. They got chocolates. They got coffee. They've got starter packs, all kinds of cool stuff over at MikeBarraPets.com. Also, please, if you're going to buy gold, slide on over to Miles Franklin, the precious metals experts, run by our friend Andy Scheckman. Wonderful guy. Buy coins, buy silver blocks, all kinds of cool stuff. They got Krugerrands. Just remember, when you do order, please mention Mike Barra. Please mention you heard about Miles Franklin from me, and I will appreciate that. And Andy will give me a little tiny cut out of whatever you order. Also, the Ledger Nano S wallet for your crypto. It is a hardware wallet. Nano S Plus is the one I got. Pick one up there over at ledger.com, and Zester can tell you how to use it, because I'm not going to tell you how to use it. It's complicated. And also, don't forget, we're going to talk a little bit about this today, Impact Health. I'll put the link later on into the chat. If you guys are interested in replacing your health insurance with something that works better and is 1/3 the cost, Impact Health sharing is the way to go. And I'm going to get into this a little bit more, because I just think it's a wonderful product. And Zester and Mark got me involved. It's a religious-based company. They do not pay for fetal stem cell tissue stuff. They don't pay for genital mutilation, and they don't pay for abortion. So they're a spiritual company. Jen, why don't you tell us what is going on over at JenniferFalaw.com today? Okay,
well, the 15-minute spirit guide offer is over. What we have now, by popular request, is the psychic development classes at half off. If you guys would like, these are 9 video classes. They will be sent to you via WeTransfer through email. You download them to your computer. You own them forever. You can take your time doing it. If you would like to sign up as a private student, I am taking on new private students. The way that looks is you have to sign up for 4 monthly or bi-weekly sessions to start, because I go through a lot of trouble and start your book. And then you come to me in the first session. We evaluate your current gifts, what you would like to achieve, how you would like to open up. And then I walk you through the entire program, tell you when to watch the videos. I give you exercises. We talk about what you experienced in your meditations and what that means, and we move forward from there. We take you all the way up from awareness to interdimensional travel. So basically, shooting your consciousness off to a place, anywhere, any point in time, and any destination to receive information. So if you would like to be a private student of mine, you get to email me first. I'll give you a little discount on the classes plus the 4 sessions. The 4 sessions are already discounted at $100 for an hour a piece. And I'll give you a little bit off on the classes as well if you want to do the whole thing. So, emails
it
right
is
there.
Hours and hours of content. It is.
It is, and it's like 9 video classes, or at least 2 hours each. And so you're going to want to email me after purchase, because if you don't, I'm going to send these classes through your PayPal email. And if that is old and you don't use that email anymore, you got to email me after you purchase to tell me where to send the classes. Okay. And that is on sale now. JenniferFlaw.com.
Cool. All right. That is a really good deal, because that is normally a lot more than that. By the way, Jen, I was going to tell you this, this company that I'm working with now, they offer a couple other things, credit card processing and ID theft protection. I know that kind of recently had happened to you. So they can set up, your online store and everything. And maybe, I don't know, we should think about, getting you over there.
What is this?
And it's ACN, it's the parent corporation. They sell Impact Health. No. Which is great. And Zester's going to talk about, I think, ID theft today, protection. Super cheap. It's like $36 a month. And then they have a whole credit card processing. These are all major businesses. The mobile, they have Flash Mobile, which is actually a special subdivision of T-Mobile. So,
well, right now I'm working on setting up my own app.
Right. And they would do it for you. They would do it for you. In other words, it would handle all your credit card processing. I think it'll save you a lot of money actually over GoDaddy. But I don't know that for a fact. But that's something we should we'll just talk to Zester about, because Zester would love to have you in the family and have you be part of the whole process. So we'll talk about that e-commerce stuff and identity protection, and that's what Zester's going to talk about when he gets here later. All right, Let's pop over to Rumble. Rumble is where we start. The reason why is that if you are over on Rumble, guess what? You can. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, we have a couple of good friends over here that, excuse me, that we're going to have to pay special attention to. Let's first of all say hi to Super Dave, aka Pork Chop, and Ron Davidoff. They both hit us for a $100 Rumble rant today. So thank you guys.
Thank you. Very nice.
You guys are way too nice to us. Way nicer than we deserve. There we go. Anyway, so we're going to pop the chat out, and you can, one of the things you can do over on Rumble is we want you to get over to the channel, Real News Live with Mike and Jen. A lot of you are following on the account, which was called Real News Live. Rumble is screwed up. They got some issues. Now that we know the channel is the way to go, because they'll help promote our show more, make sure you follow us on Real News Live with Mike and Jen, the channel. And when you do that, you can give us a Rumble rant, or if you like the show, or you can subscribe. There's a little subscribe button down at the bottom here for a mere $5 a month. $5 a month. And the privilege of that is you get to ask your question first in line. So we're going to get to the questions. We will get to free questions, and we will get to YouTube today. Don't worry about it. But keep in mind, Jen needs your real name. All right, let's start, Jen. Janice is here. Hi, Jen and Mike. This is Janice. Can you tell me my guardian angels' names? And is there more than one? Or that's okay to ask today, Jen? We're going to do the guardian angels' names again.
I'd rather not, but we'll do that. We'll do this one. Janice. It just takes me a little longer to find it without a first and last name. There's a lot of Janices. So let me...
Yeah.
Energy of the Post. There's Janice. You have 3. You have 3 guardian angels. Ruth came in very strong. Primary. She wants to be called Ruth. You guys have to understand the angels' names, just things that we can't pronounce. But so she wants to be called Ruth.
Okay.
Justin, the male, really likes the name Justin. And it sounds like Clarice. Hello, Clarice. It sounds like Clarice. So you've got 3 angels with you right now. You must have a lot of people. Well, you're going through a hard time. I get it. Yeah. I've got people praying for you.
Tell me, Clarice, about
all
the
right,
awful
like
screaming of the lambs. Okay, not Clarice. Like, that's not.
You can't not hear the name Clarice.
That's not a bad Anthony Hopkins.
And think that
awful screaming of the lambs. months. Okay, Chrissy, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber says, good morning, everybody. It doesn't happen very often that I get to watch you guys live, even though I'm a subscriber. Good to be. Okay, so just a welcome. Hi, Chrissy. How are you? Lee, Lisa, a little yellow, $5 Rumble Red. Thank you, Lisa.
Yeah.
She wants to know if her ex-boyfriend will ever get back together, or is this door closed for good? Am I still moving soon? That's Lisa.
I do think he's moved on. I think that whenever he needs some kind of attention, he'll pop up. But I do think that he's not serious about his intentions and that he's moving on.
Yeah, so if you get the YWD question mark, text at 2 a.m, just ignore it, okay? Because he's just lonely. All right, Victoria Adams, a Little Red Castle, $5 on subscriber. I'm feeling very stressed in the workplace. Can you ask the angels what I should do? Victoria would like to know what her best way of dealing with people in the workplace would be.
Okay. Psychic protection. You bring that light in down through the top of your head, push it out, start blasting out, call Jesus. Jesus, having a hard day. Can you put your hand on my shoulder? Can you help me steady me? Because it's really more your reaction to people that is bothering you than just remember that their attitude and their stuff is their problem. Okay. You need to go back to that place and stay in your bubble.
Okay,
we're going to get it done, and we're going to get out, and we're not going to worry about these jerks at work. Okay.
I always think you're done, but then I open my mouth and you keep talking.
Because you interrupt me all the time.
No, you pause. You pause, and you're like Captain Kirk, and you pause.
Well, I don't know what to tell you, man.
The wrong place. All right, Livonia Wilson, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber, says, do you see the price of silver to ever reach $100 per ounce in this timeline? This is not financial advice, Jen's response.
In 2025.
Okay, good. Jan, hey, Mike and Jen, this is Jan Skinner. I just wondering about the outcome of my brother Mark Oberg's surgery on Friday, August 30th. That's 2 days away. I'm just worried about my baby brother. Anything you can see with Mark Oberg? He's
going to be all right. It's kind of going to be a long recovery. He does wake up okay. Lots of pain. He's going to need some assistance. After that, it's going to be a lot of bed rest, I think, a lot of recovery, but he'll be okay.
All right. Christina Loeb, Little Red Castle, $5 run subscriber, says, will both myself and my husband, Peter Kenyon, be able to use med beds? He is 91, and I would love to have him around a long time. So Christina Loeb, Loeb, wants to know if she and her husband, Peter Kenyon, will be able to use med beds. Tough question.
Interesting. Yes. Looks like it comes in when he's like 92. He has to sign some kind of document that he is sound of mind and can make this decision on his own, and then he can use it.
Wow, I didn't know they were going to do that, but that's
why I just picked that up.
That's interesting.
Because of his age.
Yeah, that's a new.
So that somebody else isn't trying to prolong his life because they can't handle losing him. So it has to be his idea.
Interesting. That's not something Sky or anybody else has ever talked about with med beds. That's an interesting tidbit you got.
Well, I could be wrong, but that's what I got.
Well, I don't think so. When are you wrong?
It's been known to happen.
Only when you're giving me, hard time. Let the truth be known. Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber says, it would be great for Jen to visit tonight on Whiskey and Wisdom. Yeah, Dr. Randy Shannon is going to be on, so there would be 2 girls on. So, Jen, you let me know if you want me to send you the stream.
Well, the psychic lady answering question kind of soaks up all the air sometimes. So if you got another guest on there, I'll come on when you guys don't have much to do and give you a hard time.
The air. Well, look, as long as I'm on giving dating advice, there's always going to be.
Yeah, I'll be there then.
For us to do. Well, I'm that's every Wednesday. Megan Angus, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber says, hey, Jen, do you see things getting better at my current company, or do I take a role with someone else? Megan Angus, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber.
You stay. For now.
Okay. That's it? Okay.
It does kind of get better. It's not like to the point where you're extremely happy with the situation, but it does kind of, it gets better.
Mercedes, Sarah with an H says, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber, says, I asked my spirit guides last week to send me lots of feathers as a sign if I'll be exchanging my money in August or even into September. I've been getting thousands of feathers every week.
Thousands?
Wow. Lots of feathers.
Yeah, lots of birds around.
Yeah, what do you live underneath one of those big windmill things?
Thousands of feathers. I mean, the dog tear up a pillow. I mean, that's awesome.
It's not funny.
That's awesome, but
cool. Okay. Christina Thompson, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber. Hi, Jen. This is Christina. The past couple of days, I've been feeling some sort of presence with me. Who is it?
Okay. So everybody needs to know we're coming up on the time of the year and the strongest time of the year where the veil is thin. You're going to start perceiving things that you don't normally perceive, which could, be there. And especially if you have mediumship abilities, spirits follow you. They will start wandering in. For some reason, this time of year, we get into, a little bit into September and all the way through almost mid-November. We're going to have a lot of spirit activity. And I suspect that this year it's going to be crazy active.
Wow. Yeah, it's
there is a male presence in the home. Feels like an earthbound. Looks like he's dressed like he's from the 80s, probably a middle-aged man. He's just looking to go home. Email me a picture of your living room or where he could be just wandering and he could wander on, but if that touches my heart, what I feel from him. He's just looking for help. So you probably have mediumship abilities. If you want me to cross him over, send me a picture of the living room or where you feel him the strongest, and I'll just do it.
2024 is going to be one of the weirdest, thinnest veils ever.
That's what I'm feeling. I've been getting that.
Yeah, I'm coming at it from a completely different perspective of the physics that I wrote about, 14 years ago. So Holly Opplinger, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber, says, Hi, Jen, this is Holly. Do you know how soon I will be able to get into a med bed? Holly wants to know when she might get into a med bed.
For some reason, you're a little bit later. You must not be a really bad case. And it could be where you're going in your area. But within the next 12 months, you will be in one.
Wow, good. Diane, Little Red Castle, Diane Green, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber, says, my adult daughters are struggling financially to provide for their families. Who isn't? I've been trying to help where I can, but financially, I'm tapped out. Do you see any relief soon? That's a sneaky RV question, isn't it? But let's see if we can see when Diane's going to feel better about money.
Yeah. So what I just saw is you setting up trusts for the girls.
That's a pretty good sign.
Yeah.
Kathy, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber, says, after the RV, what city will I live in? That's an exciting.
I'm not going to be able to do that.
You're not going to be able to do that?
That's too specific, and that's making your decision for you.
Oh.
So it's better to ask the question, would I be happier here or there? And then the information starts flowing in. Like, what would happen if I went here? What does that path look like? And what would happen if I went there?
So,
but ask me to make the decision for you, I get a big blank.
Right, Holly. So, Holly, re-ask that question at the bottom of the chat, and I'll try to look for it when we get down there. Connie Anderson, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber, says, hi, guys. Jen, can you tell if my son Kyle has a respiratory infection? Thank you both for all you do. Does Kyle have a respiratory infection? Connie's son, Kyle.
Yeah. And you're probably going to get one. It'd be okay to get him on some antibiotics now because it looks like we've got bronchitis brewing with him.
Okay. And bronchitis sucks. Krodek, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber. Trump said in an interview that med beds were 5 years away. Is that true? He called it space age technology, and he got it approved. I'm not sure he was talking about med
I
beds. He
think
may have been
that's your
talking.
interpretation of
Yeah,
what
he may
he's
be
saying.
talking about space propulsion and alien technology and stuff like that. I don't know.
As far as so, when we go into our exchanges, people are going to get a bunch of tickets to go. Okay, and I don't think it's just for you. I think they'll hand you like, how many do you need? I'd be like 25. I don't know. And there's going to be a series of people because they want the people that they're going to hand money to do a humanitarian project to live to do it. Okay. Yeah. So that's going to be the first wave. Then it'll probably, when they start, the whole insurance thing is a problem right now, and the regulations and all that stuff. They're going to work on that. So that's probably going to take another year before it gets out on the street. Maybe 2 years till we start seeing that publicly.
Yeah. They have to do this in such a way that it doesn't shatter everybody's concept of reality. Annette, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber, says, Jen, you are amazing. You know, when they compliment you, Jen, I always make sure I read it.
Oh, thank you.
Boost you up a little bit. Jen, you are amazing. My granddaughter Quinn was diagnosed and they found a treatment to stop her seizures. That's the lady, I believe, with the epilepsy. She's coming home very soon, just as you told me. So another Gentel confirmed.
Good. Glad to hear it. I did another healing this morning, too.
Ron Davidoff says, my mic is good. Okay. Nikki wants to know, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber. Will anything happen with Nikki and Cooper? Ooh, who's Cooper, Nikki?
And she's the one asking?
Yes, Nikki wants to know if anything's going on with Nikki and Cooper.
Something short. I know what you're talking about. Something short.
Maria, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber. Will my 28-month-old grandson Marky be walking and talking soon? Marky, Markie.
There is something going on with him. We need to have that evaluated. Get more than one opinion. I'm looking about 36 months. It starts to even out, but I do think that he may have learning disabilities.
Renee would like to know if her dizziness is tied to her brain or her neck. She's seen 9 specialists now.
What was the name again?
Renee, Renee.
It is. So what's happening here is that whatever's going on with your neck looks like a couple things, like one disc going this way, another one goes that way, and then so they slip. Okay. And when that happens, it pushes against things, actually creates sinus congestion, front of the forehead, in the ears, and in the nasal passages. And that inner ear stuff is giving you your dizziness.
Okay. I don't know what you can do about a lot of that, though.
I don't know either, but it's interesting that something going on with the neck can cause sinus issues.
Yeah. I have to get my neck periodically adjusted by chiropractors. I would suggest you go, 2 times in 1 week and keep doing that. Get your neck adjusted. That'll probably help. People say, Jen, you froze during your Gentel. Well, that's why Jen just put it on her Telegram. So you can go over to her Telegram and pick it up.
It is posted on Telegram, on Jennifer Doring, and on Philosophy on Telegram. And I'm sure that it'll be shared shortly in other places.
Wolfcat, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber says, Mike, will we be placing Jen's solo podcasts on your website? I usually try to, but I've dropped the ball on that a few times. So yes, when she does those solo shows, I will put them over on mikebear.blogspot.com. All right. Robin, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber says, will I buy my nephew Jay a property in Southwest Texas? So Robin wants to know if she'll buy Jay property in Southwest Texas.
I've got deja vu on this one. I think we answered that on Monday. Let's look
Maybe.
again. He does get a property. He does. It's acreage. Location approximate. A little bit east from where you're thinking. That's what I'm getting. I feel like we're just off on the location still, but yeah. Main idea is you do get him a property.
Okay. There's the super chats or Rumble rants from Super Dave and Ron DeVito. Thank you guys. Grand Mux 2, honey, I need your name. But I'm gonna try with Jen. It just says Grand Mux 2, Little Red Castle. Question for Jen: does my guardian angel have any messages for me? I don't know if you can do it.
I really need a name.
Yeah.
To make that stepping stone connection there.
Beth, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber, says, I'm scheduled to have a molar removed with a 7mm pocket. Should I go ahead with that, or does it have a chance to improve? Okay, so Beth wants to know if her tooth can get any better, or she should just have it pulled.
I think we need to remove it now.
Yeah. And MedBeds will put it all back. Okay, James Michael, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber, says, Jen, do you see anything positive in my current situations? Work is drying up. I'm still stuck in Detroit. No movement towards Tennessee. And I found out my business partner has drug issues. Or should I just wait?
What's happening here is you're about to step into another chapter in your life. And these things are happening so that you can make decisions to move on. But it's not time to open the door yet. You'll know. But that's kind of what's happening on your path right now. So everything's kind of winding up to a close. Did you make decisions? Well, do I want to stay here or do I want to go over there?
Yeah. Interesting. Okay, Andy, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber, says, do you see any particular projects for me in the future? I want to do so many things and could use some help narrowing it down. So Andy wants to know if you see him doing anything in particular with his project.
That's something we could really hash through on an hour reading. It's something we should probably do. But right now, you have quite a few intuitive gifts. Most of the time, they've just been used for your life or business. Trying to get a direction for you here. So it's not so much like holistic health. I think you're going to move into like more spiritual things, somehow incorporate that with what you already know. Yeah, that's something we probably have to talk about privately.
So get a reading. Dash Lady is now a $5 a month monthly supporter, has a Little Red Castle. Well, thank you, Dash Lady. We're glad to have you as part of the family. And Grandmux 2 forgot her name is Laura, Laura. Laura had the question about, do her guardian angels have any messages for her? So she posted it further down. Laura.
Laura, where's Laura? Where's Laura? Okay. I don't know if this makes any sense to you, but stay sane. There's no need to throw in the towel. You're almost there.
Stay sane. There you go. Stay sane.
I feel like you might be a little bit on the edge of the frustration scale there. So like, just hang in there. You're almost there.
Okay, Dash Lady has a question. Her first question, Little Red Castle. Will my husband get a different truck? Oh, Dash Lady, we need your name. See if we can find it.
Something like that I can ask Gabriel. But when you want me to speak to a certain entity, I got to find you, then I got to find them, and make that connection. So, her
name is Deb Mayer, Mayer. Deb Mayer. When will my husband get a different truck?
September.
You must really hate that truck. Late September. There you go. Okay, Robin already asked that question. Joanne Patton, Little Red Castle, $5 month subscriber. Jen, having a really hard day here today. Do you see me meeting with Angela this weekend?
I don't want to tell you no, but it's no. I'm getting a no. There's a possibility, but there's also a possibility that doesn't happen, and I don't want to like ruin your day anymore. Joanne, you just got to push it all away. You just got to understand that things are crappy right now. Okay, this is where we're all at. We're right here, smack dab in the middle of it. But any time now, it's going to get really good. So don't let it all sink in. We have to just wring out our sponges, okay? Okay? Maintain. It's going to be all right.
All right.
And your daughter are going to get back together. Trust me.
Sorry, guys, about all the Kleenex stuff, but it's super dry here, and I'm just, my nose is just dry and plugged up and boogery.
Well, thank you for that.
Cool, Raul, little Red Castle. Good morning. Shut up. Be quiet. Mike and Jennifer. Raul here with a question. Everything's okay with me and Marcia except for one thing. She hates Trump and is voting for Harris. Should I stay or leave the relationship? Dump her. Raul, just get away now while you can. Okay.
No.
I won't answer that question.
Listen.
Dump her.
Listen.
Dump her.
That's why they've got sections around the voting booths, because that's her private right to think whatever the hell she wants to, and it's your private right to think whatever you want to. Leave it out of your relationship. I have seen too many divorces. I have seen families fall apart because of a difference of opinions. We are always going to have a difference of opinions. And if you find something that gets in the way of your marriage or your relationship, then that is something we do not discuss. Because first and foremost, love is the most important thing. And you cannot replace the family members. You cannot do this over. All you can do is make the right decision along the way. And if she wants to do that, yeah, we all think that's stupid. Let her do it. Give her the freedom to do it. But decide. When I grew up, we did not discuss politics at the family gatherings. We did not discuss politics because everybody was divided. But we still had a loving family. Don't cut me off. Mama's got a short fuse today, all right?
I can tell.
But I've heard this too many times.
Raul, from my perspective, it's like, can you respect that other person if that's what they do?
Listen, Raul, how long did you want to be loved?
I'd have to ask myself.
Let me tell you that. And she came in and she gave that to you. Now, you don't get to decide how perfect that is. You decide what you really want. You want to be like this guy over there, who's a smart ass and tells everybody to be single? You've already been there. Be smart about it.
Next time, pray for a woman who's a MAGA. Okay, that'll help. Mike and Jen.
Got all kinds of faults too, buddy.
It's Robin. Right. Robin L. I found 2 stunning horse ranches in Arizona. Do you see me buying one of them? This is Robin.
Ooh, Robin. That's my Robin. That's like one of my favorite people ever. Well, it doesn't look like a giant ranch, but it looks like a very nice home. Yeah, I want to come over. But you do have some land around it. Yeah. There is a timeline that leads to
that. Okay, Kathy has come back. Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber. Now she's got two places for you to give her. Will I be happier in Twin Lake, north near Baldwin, or south near Muskegon? That's her question. In terms, that was the lady with the places.
Strong on Twin Lake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Twin Lake, whatever.
That's real. That is real.
Okay. Laura again. Carissa says, is the path I'm on with Gizmo going to fix his skin allergies, and would it help significantly to start cooking his food?
Well, as a mom, and I know, it's just like if we lived close by, we'd be together like all the time. She's the most amazing woman. The thought of you cooking the dog's food along with everything else that you're doing makes me pause. But I do think so. And I do think what you're doing for him is help, but it's kind of like a long process. So you have to keep on with this for a while to really see the improvement.
Cool. Okay, we're going to slide over here to YouTube for the last 9 or 10 minutes. Hi, Jen. My name is Elizabeth. Can you please tell me why my sister Katie has migraines for years and it's getting worse? And is there anything she can
thing to figure out? I don't know. It runs through my family. I haven't been able to figure it out either.
Has she tried the Botox?
Katie.
Botox helps, I understand. So
age would help with that diagnosis, but let me ask. Well, it's kind of both. It's blood sugar and hormones that trigger it. So if she gets too many hormones, it will trigger a migraine. If her blood sugar falls too low, it'll trigger a migraine. And then I see all these nerves doing all these things. So, yeah.
That's never a problem with me, my blood sugar being too low, that's for sure. Okay, and then look into Botox, too. I understand that works quite well. And if they're going to give you Botox shots, you may as well get them on your forehead. Yeah, just inject me right there where I got the wrinkles.
My daughter has controlled hers, which were chronic, with CBD.
With CBD?
Yes.
Wow. From the CBDgurus.com. Get over there. Get over there, folks. What does she take, by the way, Jen?
Well, we've gotten her all kinds of gummies, all kinds of things, you know.
You don't know specifically which one it is that is the trigger to.
No, because she's 24 and she's been buying it herself. But like, I didn't, you know, over the years, we started out with these 5 gummies that has a tiny bit of THC in it, but not enough to get you high. And that helped significantly. It also helped with the mood swings. But she does have some drops, and I think she's using the CBD Gurus, just the 1500 that I gave her.
Okay.
But she also like went to an actual like pot store and got this roll-on thing for the pain, and it's like red. It's this big fat roll-on, and she puts that on her forehead, and that helps too. She's using all kinds of stuff.
Interesting. Okay, so Thomas Klein says, "Good morning, Jen and Mike. Can you tell me when my son TC will buy his own house and get the hell out?" Good question. Shortly. Good.
I'd say 3 to 6 months. It looks like 3, but let's leave a little room in there for changes. But definitely within the 6 months, he'll be out.
Oh, look, Jen, somebody wants to ask me a question. For what's a better place to live per your recommendation, Henderson or Summerlin area? No woke, less woke. I prefer Summerlin. It's younger. It's newer. It's up on the hill, so it's a little bit cooler than Henderson. Henderson's old for old people, a lot of country clubs, yacht clubs, that kind of thing, fake lakes. I prefer Summerlin. So that's where I live, actually.
2 minutes.
Area. Okay. Just looking for a good question. Rick Norman really hates Rumble. I don't know why. Okay. I like Rumble.
Okay.
Rumble, you can generate a little bit of, income from. So that's kind of nice. Timothy wants us to discuss our planned humanitarian projects after the RV. Well, I'm going to buy the Seahawks and bring a Super Bowl back to Seattle for the people of the city. Okay. Okay. Hi, Jen. This is Denise. You saw us getting a house in Hunting Valley with 62 acres after the RV. When do you see us? Oh, sorry. I got suckered by that. I didn't realize it was a when is the RV happening question. Chrissy says, Jen, I'm type 1 diabetic. I've taken care of myself for decades, really depressed, and I'm on all the good CBD stuff. Relationships suck as of late. Any suggestions or hope?
Everybody's there. And the only thing we can do right now is that I just think back to my grandparents who lived through the Depression. My grandmother actually owned her own salon during the Depression, looked like Marilyn Monroe, worked her entire life. And that woman, anytime everything just went to shit, she'd just come up to squeeze your hand. Everything's going to be okay. It always is. Let's go make cookies. And that's why I'm fat. So, like, this is how we deal with shit. All right. Women go in the kitchen, we start baking stuff. All right. You can't do that. But what we can do is take it down to a smaller place. All right. Am I alive? Are they alive? Yes. Do I feel okay right now? Pretty much. Okay. Is anything trying to kill me right now? No. Do I have a place to sleep? Can I eat today? Take it back down to today and stop carrying around this giant umbrella of all the reasons you have to be depressed and sad and angry and mad. If you just focus on right now, all you got to deal with is right now. And just keep focusing on right now every moment after that. And that's how you get through shit.
Rick, Jen cannot tell you when Liz is going to become with child. That's something you got to do a reading on. It's very private.
That's a private thing, yeah.
One last question, Jen, real quick. My name is Mindy. My daughter, Attie, has a cat named Jules who has explosive liquid diarrhea. Oh, can you see what's wrong with him? And the vet did labs and gave him some medicine, but it didn't really help. Is there anything we can do for Jules, the kitty cat, and his digestive problems?
What I see in the intestines looks almost not like there's some kind of organism, possibly some kind of parasite, or some kind of bacteria going on in there, and it's stimulating the walls of the intestines, and it's pulling in too much water. So I'd say either put them on the I can't tell you what to give them, but it's up to you. Suggestion: put them on the ivermectin, get them on antibiotics, do something, because that's pulling in too much water. And then we want to make sure that cat stays hydrated. I have to go. I've got 2 minutes to get to the headphones and answer.
Airtel confirmation. Nico got the job on the TED show. Good for you, Nico. Congratulations. We'll look for you on that show when it airs. Zester should be here any minute. Jen is going to go. We'll see you again. Bye-bye, Jen. You going to do a show tomorrow or no?
I am. Philosophy show tomorrow.
Philosophy tomorrow. Find Jen on Telegram, everywhere else. That's it. Bye.
Bye.
Jen's going to go now, guys. All right, we're going to hang around waiting for Zester to come in here. I'm going to text him and tell him that we're on. If you guys want to stick around. Okay, I'm just going to tell him, come on. No, not common. Come on in. You know, guys, I was going to tell you, Jen's always teasing me about I'm single, and I'm always telling you to be single. I'm not. I'm just telling you that you'll be happier when you're away from the source of stress in your life. Okay, my marriage at the end was a source of extreme stress, and I've never been happier than when I left. So, if you're with somebody like the caller or the message earlier. Raul, it just depends. It depends on, like, if I was with a woman and she voted for Kamala Harris, I couldn't stay with that woman. I couldn't stay with her because I would have lost all respect for her intellect. And I would be like, okay with it if she sat the whole thing completely out and didn't vote at all. But I couldn't respect that. Basically, that person would be voting to destroy our country and destroy civilization and human rights. And I couldn't stay with somebody like that. So it's not a question of being single or not being single. I there are certain bottom lines for me. You know, if I was with a woman and she got pregnant and she had an abortion, it would be against my wishes and I would leave her. That's it. But you got to have standards. You got to have things that make you happy, and you got to be with somebody you respect. And it's not just about, you know, being single is better. All right, we're joined now by the awesome, the epic, the stud, the good-looking, the young, the powerful, the athletic, Zester Zerfas. Or I don't know if I can say that. Can I say the last name? I'm not supposed to.
You know,
Everybody knows it. We're not going to. Zach Zester, the crazy kryptonite, is here. Zach, buddy, how you doing, man?
Oh, I am doing well. I'm doing very well. Is my audio and everything coming through well?
Audio sounds fine. I got you here. You're good. You're good. Awesome. Wearing the Whiskey and Wisdom long sleeve T-shirt early on already in the day.
Yeah, I'm going ahead and getting ready. I'm looking forward to celebrating Trump Day properly this evening.
Yeah, may as well. Yeah, Trump Day or Hump Day. May as well get it started early. All right, Zach. What do you want me to call you? You want me to call you Zach on this or Zester?
I usually just go by Zester. Zester has just become the online go-to name.
Yeah.
That I just wherever I show up at, I tend to go with Zester rather than Crazy Kryptonite.
Yeah. It's weird because, you know, when I met you in North Carolina, you just became Zach to me. So that's what I call you. I'm not used to the Zester moniker really, but I'll work on it. All right.
If it starts with a Z, or it sounds like it has a Z in it, I'm probably going to respond. There have never been enough Z's around me in my life for me to never not assume that they must be talking about me. Right.
So, all right. So for those of you guys who don't know, Zester is a cryptocurrency expert. He got me into the Ledger Nano S wallet thing and got pretty much all my crypto stored on there. You want to talk a little bit about crypto. And also Zester's on the team. You know, we're all on the same team involved with Impact Health and some of the other things, the other products and stuff. Yes, Zester is Mark's son. He is Mark Z's son. He is, and Mark has two of them. I met them both, and they're both great guys. And but Zester, you're my favorite. There's no way.
Oh man,
I'm
so glad to hear that, Mike.
I'm so proud of you.
Riley know.
I'm so proud of you. I sometimes forget you're not my real son. You just forget that sometimes. So
man, I'm coming on here more often. I get all of these awesome compliments. I got the introduction was amazing.
Yeah.
Can you sign up for this once a week, Mike?
Yeah, I think it's fine. Sure. Because Wednesday is usually a shorter show for Jen because she has a lot of readings to do and get caught up on. So usually it's an hour show. Sometimes we have more news. There's not much news going on the RV front. So we talk up, we just answer questions from people and that'd be great. Let's do that. We'll extend our Wednesdays then with an hour of Zester time. So, all right, man. I don't know. I don't want to make this completely just I just want to have a good chit chat with you about stuff. You're kind of a crypto expert. How are things looking in the crypto market? And then we'll talk about, we can talk about Impact Health, or we can talk about some of the other stuff that the ACN, the Zerfos team is offering. And you want. So what's up?
Well, in terms of crypto, I know if you're looking at the markets right now, things have turned particularly sour today.
Oh, let me go there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Everything is, it's a very, very red.
Oh, it's a bloody day. Yeah. The fear greed index is on the fear side right now. Yeah.
Yep. But I would say that the thing that I've really been looking at, and I think is the major catalyst of the crypto market right now and traditional finance, I guess shouldn't really just exclude cryptocurrency away from it. The stock market also is this election. When it comes down to it, I know on crypto side that everybody is sitting there and going, if they're in some way, in some snowball's chance, and heck, Kamala wins this election in November, every single cryptocurrency person is planning on hitting the sell button.
Yeah.
And so I know that for a lot of folks, there's a lot on the line beyond just, the freedom of our nation going into the future. But in terms of the markets, that is the major, major, major thing that everyone is sitting there paying attention to.
Well, the thing is, I would say she has no chance of winning this election. They have a chance of stealing it. They could steal it. So that's the way I would look at it. So we get hit today. We're not doing maybe so well on the crypto side of things. What do you think? What do you think overall, though, is the future of cryptocurrency? I mean, for years I didn't buy Bitcoin. Back when Bitcoin was a thousandth of a penny, I could have put $1,000 into it in 2009 and been plenty rich today. And I just didn't, because I just didn't believe it was ever going to be anything. I'm like, what the hell is that? What a stupid, not the brightest financial move I ever made. So what do you think is the role of cryptocurrency in the future? And then I want to ask you about two specific coins and just why they're not taken off. But what do you think I think crypto is pretty much going to be the mainstay of the future of economics, don't you?
Oh, I absolutely. And I'll say before I guess I jump into that one, that anything that I share should not be viewed as professional financial advice.
No.
Consult with a legal or financial professional before making any major decisions. But with that stated, cryptocurrency.
Wait. Before you start, let me get my proper caption up. There we go. All right. There we go.
And so, with that stated, though, cryptocurrency is going to be the technology that our financial system operates off of. More specifically, blockchain technology, because that's what cryptocurrency really is. It's just a utilization of blockchain technology. We just think of it as crypto, because that was the first major application of this technology in the mainstream. Blockchain technology is going to be used for our voting system in the future, hopefully. It's going to be used for a variety of different things. But so we know crypto's here to stay. What's important, and what I think is really going to be whether crypto is viewed as either the beginning of the end of freedom of our economy, or whether it's going to be seen as the beginning of the birth of freedom in our economy, that's something that's going to be highly reliant on which different road we go down. The road less traveled type thing made me think of Robert Frost when I said it that way immediately. But if we go down the route of central bank digital currencies, which is what a lot of governments are pushing for, it's what the Chinese government's pushing for, it's what the Democratic Party in the United States is pushing for, it's what the European Union is pushing for. If we go down that road, well, I do not want to imagine how horrifying our world's going to look in a couple decades. Because it would allow for governments and central banks to essentially have beyond full control over your assets. They would be capable of just shutting down your money immediately with nothing more than the click of a button. Mike's dollars suddenly are no longer Mike's dollars anymore, and there wouldn't be any way for you to possibly get it back from them. And so that future, which is a possibility, is horrifying. And that future is going to be dominated by blockchain technology. The alternate is the idea of a decentralized future using blockchain technology, where their currencies are free and transparent for everyone to actually interact with. The government does not control them. The government follows the same rules that the rest of us do. And in that future, well, then we would see a world where governments would no longer be able to print away our futures. Governments would no longer be capable of censoring our freedom of speech, because how we spend our money is a matter of freedom of speech. It's been codified by the Supreme Court. Where you go and you spend your money at Walmart, you are expressing your freedom of speech. And so those two avenues are what are really what's at stake. Whether we go down the world of everybody being on the same level playing field, or we go down the world of governments and central banks having full control, is going to be the determination in the future of whether we can look at Satoshi Nakamoto's invention as the beginning of the end, or the beginning of the beginning.
Right. So now a lot of people speculate that are on, Mark's show, and even your dad, your dad has even speculated about this, and people have said that XRP and XLM are going to be sort of the backbone of this new blockchain financial technology on the good side. And, I think people like Bix Weir were like, oh no, it's deep state coin. But I think that's been sort of hijacked. I don't think it's deep state coin anymore. But why aren't XRP and XLM taking off? That's the biggest thing. There's this resistance. And even though they've won their court cases and all these things have been cleared, why aren't they taking off?
Well, this is one that I know nobody likes to hear the answer on. And this is something that XRP has been doing since forever. The reason XRP's value does not ever take off is because when the price starts to go up, the team, the XRP Ripple Labs team, and the escrow holders of tokens sell them. This is something that is completely proven on the blockchain. There's no way to really argue it. It's never announced by the team, but it's what has occurred every single time XRP tries to break out of its general price frame, and it has turned the XRP team and its founders into billionaires. Compliments of this. They have become billionaires. Do I own XRP? Yes. Do I believe it will be worth more in the future? Yes. Do I think that it is going to be the currency of the future? No. And as a matter of fact, if it were, with the way the team has handled themselves, that would be going down that path towards central bank digital currencies. It serves a very important role in the tokenization of real world assets.
Yeah, I thought it was like the transfer medium they're going to be using in the new system.
Yeah, and that's always what they've said, is that XRP's goal is to be a cross-state boundaries, cross-country boundaries form of exchange, an exchange between banks. Something going on in the background like the SWIFT system that's really controlling global finance. And it may be. But ultimately, a currency that is volatile and fluctuates in value will never be a medium of commerce. It never can be. Ripple is not pegged to anything, and it isn't designed to be pegged to anything. It's not a fixed rate. And so when people imagine using XRP for like, okay, I'm an American manufacturer, and I would like to buy parts from a Japanese company. And so I then go and say, okay, we'll settle on it. It'll be this many ripples, this many XRP coins. And then I go ahead and I say, all right, I'm going to pay for those parts in Japan. And now they receive the payment. And now in the time necessary to get all of my parts and everything else put onto the boat, shipped to me, say the price of XRP goes down massively, massively. That Japanese company now just got screwed. They just sold their auto parts at a massive, massive reduction in value because the price of the currency that they chose to exchange between ended up falling, even if maybe it just fell 1% or 0.5%.
Right.
And it was a quick process. Still, that's not how companies and governments are going to function. But what XRP is doing, and this is where there is a possibility for it to be used to make those purchases, is XRP is tokenizing real world assets. And what I mean when I say that is they're tokenizing physical gold. They're tokenizing physical silver.
Right.
And that could be used as a form of commerce going into the future if we're looking towards an economy and a financial system more based around being backed by precious metals. Now, this innovation would allow for us to transact in gold and silver without shipping gold and silver all over the planet in order to make these things happen.
So you're saying basically that XRP and XLM are being, it's like the silver market. They're being manipulated, so only the people that have a shit ton of it can make money off of it, really, and that's why. And so they're not letting it run to a market price.
I strongly believe, and I know that has been a long held belief amongst developers and people on crypto teams, that XRP has been holding down its value. And that's where we speculate, because at some point, what happens when they quit holding it down? That's the day we're all waiting for. That's the day we're looking for, is when XRP and the team and the big holders stop. So
right.
And then it's going to run, and we're all hopefully going to make a lot of money.
Yeah, good. That would be nice. Okay, Marengo over on Rumble has a question. Says, "Hi Zester, what is your advice on digital wallets? Will it be necessary after the RV for this digital era?" That's a great question, Marengo over on Rumble. I'm just gonna, I don't know. What you got anything to say about that, buddy?
Marengo, what I would say is that I suggest to absolutely everyone, if you hold cryptocurrencies or plan on holding a digital currency in the future, that you should be using a hardware wallet. And as a matter of fact, I know that Mike Barra's got a link in the description on that Rumble video that will actually make you $10 a Bitcoin and help support Mike Barra and the channel. And so it's a win-win type deal. You make an extra $10 a Bitcoin, pay the same price for your hardware wallet, and support the channel. And so I recommend to absolutely everyone.
Yeah.
I
do have that link in the description, and I just posted the link to the Ledger Nano S wallet in the
it's $70 and you no longer have to worry about hackers and everyone stealing your cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
You know, I tell people if you have so little that you don't care if it gets stolen, then don't worry about it. But if you have an amount of XRP, XLM, Bitcoin, any cryptocurrency, and you have enough of it that you'd be quite upset if it were to be gone, well, the $70 purchase is
worth it.
It's absolutely worth it.
Literally, nobody can get to my crypto. It's right here. They have to break into my house and steal it, and if they do, they're going to get a face full of lead before they get to it. So,
and they're going to have to have the code, the passwords, everything from you. I mean, they're going to have a gun pointed at your head, and they're going to have to then, you're going to have to be willing to do it. And so there are other hardware wallets out there, but I've got 6 Ledger hardware wallets. I'm a big fan, needless to say. Yeah. But there are other ones that are perfectly good out there. I use the number one brand, the one that's never had a problem.
Right, and this is a good one, and it's like you say, it's $70 and you never worry about it again. Okay, we have a question from Robert. He says, Esther, I bought a Ledger Nano S, as you had suggested, and I'm having an issue on transferring my XLM from my Lobster wallet to the Ledger. Do you have a step-by-step process to follow? No, look, I'm going to tell you, when I got this, Zester, I'm lucky. I know the guy. He walked me through it. And it's like, it's if I had to do it again today, Zester, I'd probably screw it up. But once you do it a few times, it's really, it's 1, 2, 3 steps. It's basically, all right, copy your wallet address. You're on Lobster. I literally did that, so I know it can be done. You just got to get your wallets set up on the Ledger itself, and then it's easy. But
and actually, I do have a video. I don't know if you mind me. It was my first ever recorded video. That I ever recorded. So I'll toss it in the private chat for you there.
Okay.
And that is, if there are any questions beyond that one, of course, I'm always streaming and I like to answer people's questions live, because ultimately it's never just one person with the question. And so we all learn doing it that route. I do see a fun one there in the chat from BXIR19. Yeah, I don't know. Have you heard that rumor as well there, Mike? Because that's a very, very common one. That is like circulated far and wide.
Sure, you can have all my XRP and XLM for $1 million. I'll send you this with the 12 words, and there's some Ethereum in there. There's a little bit of Bitcoin. Just give me my $1 million and tax free, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. Well, actually, and so BXIR. And BXIR says it's rumored our XRP will be bought back from us.
Yeah, because they are going to use it as this means of exchange, in the background of the new system. But
and actually, I do think that you're going to have groups that are trying to buy back or buy up your XRP, but I don't think it's for the same reason that often it's talked about. So when XRP goes and they have full-fledged, and they're already doing it, it's in the beginning process, and they're tokenizing currencies and stable coins, and they're tokenizing gold and silver. What you have to pay to tokenize that gold and silver, to tokenize those real-world assets, you have to pay in XRP. And so if it does, and as it continues to grow, and people around the world want to receive payments in gold, or want to receive payments in silver, or anything else, and they want to utilize the XRP ledger, they're going to need XRP to do it. And so that is going to result in a situation where governments and companies and banks and everyone else that want to utilize the ecosystem, well, they're going to have to buy that XRP from somebody. And that is going to be where we start to see ourselves as holders benefiting from a constant upward buying pressure, because they have got to buy it in order to do the rest of their business. That way, I do see people coming to us, and there being kind of a rush on buying our XRP if Ripple Labs, the company, succeeds.
Okay, Earthman Jim has a question over on Rumble. He just wants to know, what cryptos do you think we should be buying or looking at? And this is not financial advice. I mean, I have Bitcoin, I have Ethereum, I have XRP, I have XLM. I used to have Theta, but I think Theta is never going to happen. So, you know,
I've also lost a lot of faith on Theta. I was a very big fan.
I think Theta was a great idea for the old internet, but I think Starlink and the new there is a new internet. I hear there's a military internet that's just going to replace it, and we're not even going to know.
Yeah,
it got shifted. So I think Theta was a great solution for the old internet that's not going to exist, you know, probably next year by this time.
And I still think there's a lot of future there. Maybe the Theta team is they're just not telling us anything. And when you've been that long and you haven't heard them out there talking about what they're planning on doing, or even just heard them come out and say, hey, we can't tell you about it yet, we'll tell you about it when we can. They're not even doing that. I mean, at least just proof of life. Somebody over there in the Theta headquarters, can somebody cough? Please.
We'll listen to our sonar and see if we can catch anything. Kathy Wolford says, are the hardware wallets from Mike purchased from the maker and not just off Amazon like you spoke of? Yeah, that comes directly from Ledger.
Yep, they come directly from Ledger, and that's an important one for everybody. Even if you don't want a Ledger hardware wallet, do not buy any hardware wallet from Amazon or eBay.
Buy it directly.
I know that there are blatant scams out there that are allowed on places like eBay and Amazon. If you go onto eBay and you see a Ledger hardware wallet for $5,
it's not a Ledger hardware wallet. I'll tell you,
it's a Ledger hardware wallet. It is. It just also has another chip that's been placed inside of it that's going to read to them your mnemonic phrase when you put it in. And so they're sending you, okay, well, yeah, sure, I'll sell you one for 90% off. When you put your crypto on it, they're going to take that crypto right off of it right after you do.
Yeah.
And so definitely, great question, Kathy. And yeah, no worries on there. It's the same exact process.
By the way, did you have anything to add to my list that I gave of the cryptos? Ethereum, Bitcoin, XRP, XLM. Anything you want to add to that you think is a good?
Chainlink is one that I always
buy for yourself. Sorry, that you buy for yourself. That's all we're asking. What do you do?
Chainlink is one that I buy.
Chainlink.
On a regular basis, whenever I can, I buy a little bit. Whenever the price is down, I buy a little bit. The reason being is that Chainlink and what their technology is it connects off-chain data. So like information and data about the weather, about, sports games, about airline delays, everything. It connects all off-chain data to on-chain sources. And the way that it works is if you as a company or you as an individual or anything, if you want to have data from off-chain on the blockchain, you have to pay them in Chainlink to get it. And so that means there are constant, never-ending purchases coming in from companies and from entities that have to pay for that service every single month. It is the number one provider of that service. They're the only ones, essentially, that are operating on that scale. And as I look towards the future and we start to have real-world assets tokenized, well, that is going to be how we're capable of having those real-world assets on a blockchain. We're going to need the information from off-chain and on-chain to be seamlessly blended. And that's the only company currently capable of doing that. And so I see them as having a seriously bright future.
And Chainlink is up today while everything else is down. So that's a good point. Okay, so you and I, we're both working with this company called ACN that offers a lot of great products and services. Impact Health is one. I had Dr. Randy Shannon on to talk about it on Monday. And Dr. Randy's going to be on tonight. I don't think we're going to talk about Impact Health too much. We're going to kind of shoot the shit on Whiskey and Wisdom, but that's a good, product and there's a link in the description for that. But they're a company that I think it's kind of like the way she described it, in the sense that everybody used to take taxi cabs when they had to. Now everybody uses Uber. It's kind of the Uber of healthcare. And by the way, I'm going to put a link in the chat if you want to go in and get a quote and find out if it can save you money over your current health insurance and all that, and it will. I just put a link in there. You want to add anything to that? And what other companies' products? What else are you talking to people about in terms of other products from ACN? I know the identity theft thing is a big deal, especially with people like William Carlstrom around. Sorry, that's an inside joke.
Yeah. Well, and it is
about them and the company.
Yeah, no. So I'm big fan of a lot of the different services, and I know that the thing that we've been particularly excited about is just saving money. We have a cell phone service offered through Jeremy, who a business partner of mine. He's got his wife, 2 kids. All of them, of course, have a phone, and then they had one watch that also had cell service. They were paying $290 a month. They called in, went through, talked with us, and now they save $150 a month, and they only pay $140. Do that math on a year, that's $1,800. 10 years, $18,000. Those type of savings really add up. And something that I would suggest, Mike, is also putting out not Jeremy's personal phone number, but the 800 number for those that do want to go through and find the services that work for them, that want to save money. Call into the number and then set up a time, and Jeremy or another person who's trained on it will go in and they'll help you through every step of the way. And so far, we've never found anybody that we didn't end up saving a good bit of money on a monthly basis for. And it's for a good reason, because also, Mike, I know you and I had talked about it, but I don't know if you had talked about it with everyone. We're signed up underneath Dr. J. Caprietta's church. And we're actually trying to get more and more churches in, because whenever people come in and they participate in, they are making cashless donations to that church every single month when they pay their bills. And so that's what got me and Pops excited. It allows for people in the community to save money on things that they already have to buy. When it comes down to it, we got to pay for it. We don't have a choice in the matter. And so we're going to pay for it. We need to save money, because the Bidenomics, needless to say, have not exactly worked.
And the other thing hasn't happened yet. So here we are.
And it allows for everyone to not only save money, spend less, but they support the channel and they support the churches that in this coming financial situation, we know from history, 2008, 2009, 10,000 small churches went out of business. COVID crisis, when they shut down the ability for churches to have people in the pews on a weekend basis, that shut down just as many once again. There are hundreds of thousands of churches around the United States that are struggling to pay the bills. And so that to us was something where when everybody wins, and I forget where I ever heard this quote or this story, but it was something from, I think, the Wheel of Time series, Robert Jordan's books. I don't know if that's something you ever read. That's my favorite fantasy series. And they said, the best horse trade is a trade when both sides walking away feeling like they've won. And those are what I always feel like are the best things with the products and services everybody walks away winning. We get to save money on our bills. We get to help contribute to the channels and to the churches that are participating. And it's a win-win.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, just to let everybody know, you can come to me, you can come to Zester, you can go directly, I guess, to Jeremy, but these are the things that are available. I'm focused right now on Impact Healthcare, but I'm going to be, Flash Mobile. It's actually T-Mobile. They just developed a separate division, and you can get it, get T-Mobile way less expensive, way cheaper than you can get it out on the market. There's AT&T. There's Ziply fiber internet. I can't get it where I am. I would definitely replace Cox cable if I could. DirecTV, Dish, Spectrum is internet, mobile, and television. Kinetic internet. Gas. If you got gas and electricity, Zoom Energy can probably save you a lot of money over your current utilities. Travel through TrueV. Lifestyle stuff there, but
I'm looking forward to that one after the RV. I'm looking forward to that TV service after the RV.
Exactly.
I would say something for those out there. Please keep in mind that you're going to want to go through a link from Mike. The prices and the savings are not just the same. If you go out there and you look up the companies, you can't get those deals unless you go through, because those deals are negotiated essentially in a wholesale style way, so that they're negotiating for you in order to save you money. If you just go and you click on any of these services or Google them, you're not going to get those savings. Doesn't mean it might not still be a better deal than what you're currently paying, but you're not going to get more kind of savings.
Yeah. You will save more going through us. So I know you're really into the ID seal, the identity theft stuff. Do you want to talk about that a little bit? I mean, and I'll put a link in the chat here, and there is a link in the description as well. So, ID theft is a big deal. Because I know it's funny because Jen's kind of resistant on all this, but it's like they have credit card processing. She had a problem with that recently, and she had some identity theft issues, which led to her credit card processing issues. So, just talk about this a little bit. And again, guys, we're not going to keep you here for an hour or anything, but Zester knows quite a bit about this one. I saw your presentation the other day. It was great.
Yes, and so for those that are not aware, the company that actually manages data for the government, for multiple different governments around the world, of course, the U.S. government, it had a major data breach. Over 2.9 billion different people's information around the world ended up being placed onto the dark web just a couple weeks ago. That is all of us. If you live in Europe, you live in the United States, you're on the list. Canada, etc. And so this is something that's, extremely relevant on account of that. Your information is all out there online, social security numbers and everything else. And what ID Seal provides for is not only $1 million of identity theft insurance each year, and so you are insured, but you also end up getting a VPN. You get social security monitoring, dark web monitoring, you get malware software, you get antivirus software, you get webcam, microphone protection and blockers. You get an encrypted vault for your important information on your computer. You get a map of any sexual predators in your area that is constantly updating 24/7.
Yeah, that one was a big deal. That was a big deal when you talked about that the other day. If you have a family, I mean, most services don't offer that either, and that was really a big deal. If I had kids or something, I'd sure as hell want to know that part of it.
Yeah, and it just so happens to not be, and the list of different products and services that come with it would cost hundreds of dollars per month individually, and with ID Seal, it can be as low as $24 a month for a single person, and a couple can get themselves covered and up to 10 kids for like $38 a month. And it's an insanely good deal in comparison to all of the other options. And so that was the reason that for me, it was like an absolute no-brainer in this modern world, an absolute no-brainer.
Yeah, I know you're super enthusiastic about these guys and their services, and
I'm certain you've heard the stories too, Mike.
Yeah.
I'm certain you've heard them from members of the community, from emails, from things that you've talked about over the years, where people are getting scammed. And a lot of people don't even know it's happening. I went in and I did mine about a month or so ago with ID Seal. I found out that some dude named Carl opened up a phone service with AT&T in Colorado with my social security number. I had no idea. And how would I ever know? Because it's not like I'm ever going to find out.
Right.
I don't live in Colorado. The address was fake. It's just my social security number that he used. I was going to find out in 10 years' time when a collection agency came to me and said, hey, Carl, why the heck haven't you paid us the $10,000 you owe us? Or maybe Carl's using that phone number to do illegal activities. And I'm going to find out when the FBI gives me a call and says, hey, Carl, you're a real jerk. And then I'm going to be sitting there going, wrong number, until the black SUVs roll up. And so the monitoring services and everything else are a solid peace of mind, and they handle it all for you. If anything pops up on your report, and so somebody has your social security number, you call that number, the white glove restoration number with ID Seal, and you have a person who sits with you and goes, okay, first things first, we're going to call this law enforcement agency. I'm going to be on the phone with you. This is what we're going to tell them. Okay, we did that. Now we're going to call this credit monitoring service, and we're going to give them this information. And then we're going to do this. And they will walk you through the whole process of restoring your identity back to yourself. There is no better deal out there on the market.
I'm almost afraid to sign up for this because I don't know because I'm like, what's going to be out there? Who knows? Who knows how many people have been stealing my ID? And Dave had an issue with it too, my brother Dave. So
yeah,
but it's like, yeah, you got to know what's going on. Gag Girl 1964 says, do they help with car insurance? No, we don't offer auto insurance yet, but that because the prices of auto insurance are skyrocketing, I gotta believe that's going to be coming down the road pretty soon, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I heard that was going to be another one of the things that ends up coming in at some point. But and at some point in the past, there was an offering for it, but right now we don't have anything on car insurance side. We do have a lot on business side for different business services, and then of course on residential, individual basis, cell service. That is one that I would absolutely recommend. You got to get Jeremy on the phone with you, and you got to sit there and talk to him about your cell phone bill, because he has his Flash Mobile set up and running. His service is infinitely better than it ever was before. He can walk around, the Walmarts out in the middle of nowhere in Pennsylvania, in the giant concrete dome with with perfect 5 bars, 5G the entire time. He can drive through the middle of nowhere, and he went from $290 a month to $140 a month for him and his whole family, and their extra watch that they like to have attached to cell service, and that's just a huge slam dunk. I would say that for those that are curious on that one, Flash Mobile does require that you own your phone. And so for those that have the really slow,
I get my phone paid off, but as soon as I get my phone paid off, I'm definitely going to switch. So yeah,
well, I talked to a person the other day, and her husband, their kids are out of the house, so it was no longer a thing for them. But her and her husband both have heart monitoring watches, and so they actually had 4 services, and they were paying $220 a month on a fixed income. At least it's 2 of them for their 2 cell phones and their 2 watches. The watches being a matter of a health necessity. This is their ability if they had a fall in the house, or if their heart monitor started to go off. It's important. And they went down to $120. When you're on a fixed income and you just save $1,200 a year, and you also still have the same service and the same everything, that's huge. $1,200 a year seems like with Biden inflation, doesn't seem like it's going to buy you much, but in 10 years time, that's 12 grand. And that might buy a cheeseburger and a side of fries in 10 years time, but I'd much rather have that 12 grand than not have it, even though it won't be worth near as much or possibly not worth near as much.
Right. And, guys, if you're interested in any of these products, any of this stuff, feel free to go ahead and send me a message on Telegram or Facebook or something, and I'll send you a link to sign up for the services if you're interested in any of them. And they're all good stuff. They're all good stuff.
And we've gotten so good too at going through, and we actually have a little sheet. And so something that you'll get right off the bat is you'll get a little form where you can go through and say, these are all the different bills, and this is how much I'm paying for it. And then we just have a little, we click a button and it tells us which services make sense. We don't say, we don't suggest to anyone any service that is not going to save money.
Right.
The idea here is that doesn't matter. That isn't going to help you. And so you'll have a little form to fill out, and then it'll pop out and it'll tell Jeremy or whoever's on the phone with you, this is the services that would save them money. And then they'll help you walk through and do it. It's a little time consuming the first time, but ultimately, when it comes down to saving money is earned money. And sometimes we look at it the wrong way and we say, what do we need to do? We need to make more. There's a lot to be said about saving more.
Yeah. Well, I know I'm going to, I got AT&T, so I'm going to go in and see if I can save on my AT&T plan through these guys. For sure. So,
and I don't know if any of the, I know, the cell service at some point will definitely make sense. But I mean, you being in Nevada, the Zoom's not going to help you. I don't think they have the gas and electric.
No, I've checked on that, and I also checked on the fiber optic internet is not available yet in Nevada, but it will be.
All the states where gas and electric have been deregulated. Oh man, those people save sometimes absolutely absurd amounts of money. Being in Puerto Rico, I don't get to take advantage of that one, but Dave Cook says, Zester, please tell me I can keep my XRP in Coinbase.
Yeah.
Dave Cook, XRP is a centralized exchange. It is owned and regulated by the United States. It's a publicly traded company. Most likely, in the long run, you would get your money back if anything were to happen to Coinbase. Most likely. And so, Dave, if it's not a lot and you're not worried about it, I mean, it seems like you might be a little bit worried about it, but
if
it's not enough to make that $70 purchase of a hardware wallet make sense, then you are in no better place possible than Coinbase. That's the best place you could be. As a U.S. resident, as a U.S. citizen, that's the best place you could be having your XRP sitting, just because it is a publicly traded company. They're going to be held accountable. They do have quality financial books. And so in that regard, I would say it's okay, relatively speaking. But Dave, what I would look at it as is if Coinbase or anyone else does have an issue, your money could end up being locked into Coinbase for potentially a long time. Some of the different times that these services have been hacked, it's taken years to get the funds all back into the right people's hands. By having your crypto on a hardware wallet, you will not ever be hacked. You don't have to worry about that anymore. And so I'd look at that one in two ways, Dave. If you want to make certain you always have access to that XRP and it's always in your control to be able to send it, sell it, do whatever you feel like with it, I'd get it off of Coinbase. I'd get it on a hardware wallet. If this is a long-term investment and you're just kind of going, hey, someday I'm going to sell that XRP, it's going to be worth more, I'm not worried about it, then maybe consider just letting it sit right where it's at, because it is easier. It is easier just to kind of leave it there.
I mean, I took all my stuff out of Coinbase, and I, not to sell, but I put it on my ledger, and nobody can get to it.
I don't look at that one in any way as anything other than it's just sharing. It's just sharing the information. I feel like hardware wallets kind of got like a mystery put around them by a lot of different messaging out there, where it's like, oh, I mean, I've heard some crazy different stories about how a hardware wallet works, and all it really is it's an encrypted chip that's sitting inside of this hardware wallet that when I plug into the computer, that chip receives electricity. And so it's never online at any point in time. And even when it is powered, the chip is not online. What I do is I connect it to the computer and I actually issue a command to say, hey, encrypted chip, here are the passcodes and everything else. The encrypted chip then says, yes, you are correct. That is the passcode. You now have access to your cryptocurrency. It just means that you have got to physically have this hardware wallet or that secret phrase in order to be able to access any of the crypto stored in the wallet.
Yeah.
It's not overly space age. It's highly technical, but it's not that crazy. It's not that crazy.
I'm like not quite getting it plugged in. No, maybe I've got I had the wrong thing. Yeah. So I just plug this into my computer and, I can transfer.
Yep.
So once I get logged in, is the rumor that XRP may rise to over 2K in September true? Well, if we knew that, we'd be rich, smart people.
I'd be offering my kidney up on the streets for however much I could to buy more. Now, I hope that it is true, Gary. I would be a very, very wealthy individual. If it were true. I would say, Gary, it is extremely, extremely unlikely. To place that in terms of a percentage chance, I'd say that Snowball in HE double hockey stick has a hell of a lot better time and chance of existing than XRP does of being over 2K in September. I do believe XRP has a lot of positive news coming this year because XRP is currently testing their RLUSD stablecoin, and that is set to be launched by the end of the year. And so, Gary, I am optimistic that XRP is going to rise in value and towards the end of this year when that stablecoin platform is launched. And so positive news in that regard, but ultimately for XRP to have a price of $2,000 per coin, XRP would have to have a market capitalization larger than the entire world's economy.
Yeah, that's
all to itself. We would have to go and conquer. We'd have to find out that Mars had a thriving civilization of aliens that had one buttload of money, and that they also were on board for us to just have the math to make up that large of an economy. But
I wouldn't mind.
Right. $5, $10. Now we're talking about things that very much make sense.
Yeah.
And are really, those are the type of numbers I'm looking towards in the future. I'm looking for 5, 10, 20. Those are the numbers I think if XRP does maintain the market share of real world tokenization that it can achieve. And that in and of itself, it's a very large increase compared to where most all of us have purchased our XRP.
Yeah. All right. Well, unless you have anything else you want to go into, I think we can just say that is good for today. I think maybe we'll do this on a regular basis on Wednesday, if you don't mind, and we'll focus on one product or one aspect at a time, and for people in the future. And of course, we can always pick your brain about crypto. That's always important. And so thanks for being here. Anything else you want to talk about right now before we head out, or?
Are you excited that Tulsi Gabbard endorsed Trump?
Yeah, I am. And I last night on my show on Toxically Masculine Tuesday, I made everybody pick. If you can only date one of them. Okay, you got Tulsi Gabbard, you got Anna Paulina Luna, you got Lauren Boebert, and you got AOC. Which one of those four are you picking? Come on, Zach.
I think Tulsi's booked for a nice dinner.
Tulsi right.
Gabbard is definitely. She seems like she not only is she a beautiful lady, but she also seems like a very down to earth. We disagree on certain things, but ultimately, I think we'd be able to find a lot of common ground.
You can talk her into that. Yeah, you can talk her
Yeah.
into that later. Okay, guys, thanks for being here. Appreciate it very much. Zester, I'll see you tonight on Whiskey and Wisdom, about 5 my time, about 8 your time. We'll get a little bit drunk, and we're gonna let Doctor. I don't know about the feminization of Whiskey and Wisdom, about letting Dr. Randy.
I didn't know Dr. Randy was coming, and so you actually just when you said that, I was like, oh really?
Well, that's what I heard. That's what I heard. He's coming.
I'm gonna have to go do a little bit of research on that one. I don't know. I know she watched us last week and she had so much fun. Maybe that's it.
Maybe that. Maybe that.
She
But yeah, she said, yeah, I'll see you on Whiskey.
She was like, I need in.
Yeah. When I had her on Monday, she was like, yeah, I'll see you on Wednesday. I'm like, okay. It's a guy's show. So we'll see. So thanks to my guest, Zester Zerfoss. Zester, where can they find you on the internet?
Crazy Kryptonaut on YouTube, Twitter, Rumble. I can toss a link tree.
Yeah, send me a link and I'll put it in.
I am such a big fan of Linktree.
I know a bunch of people were ripping me on Twitter for having a link tree, and I'm like, okay, well, it's like that way people can find me if they need to. So
yeah, it's so much easier.
All right, Crazy Kryptonaut. Well, if they go to Crazy Kryptonaut on Twitter, for instance, they'll get to your link tree through Twitter, right?
Yeah. You'll I think that everybody will end up cycling all around to whatever platform that fits best. I do shows Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on YouTube and Rumble. It comes out at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and during that, I spend a lot of the time just answering people's crypto questions live. I go through the crypto news, and then I answer whatever they may be.
Right.
Hey, just heard this. Zester, does it make any sense? Hey, I just bought this token. Was it a good idea? It sometimes, and I would sometimes I have to go up and research because people will show up with some really, really small cryptocurrencies out there. But otherwise, we got a lot of answers out, and we have a good time too.
Micro cryptos. All right. Thanks for being here. We'll probably make this a regular thing with Zester on Wednesdays. I really appreciate you doing this, buddy. And I'll see you, tonight for sure. So everybody have a great Wednesday and keep your fingers crossed. There's a lot of stuff happening in the world right now. And we just got to wait for it to all fall out and decide where we're at. And because remember, if you're on Mark's podcast, if you're on Zester's podcast, if you're on my podcast, you're way ahead of the curve compared to everybody else because most people out there have no idea what's coming. And we don't know what's coming either necessarily, but we know we know something's coming. And you're more prepared by being part of this community than you would be if you're not. So